Hi there, everyone. Sad day. You've been listening to officials in Minnesota provide an update on a devastating and tragic shooting in Minneapolis earlier today. Tragically, 2 children, ages 8 and 10, are dead. At least 17 more people have been injured. We learned just now, though, quote, they are all expected to survive. It happened after a gunman armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol targeted a church that was holding a mass for the young students at the start of a brand new school year. The Minneapolis police chief saying just a couple minutes ago that among the injured, 14 of them are between the ages of 6 and 15. 3 of the injured are adults in their 80s who were attending mass. All of the remaining victims are expected to survive, as we just said. According to police, at around 8:30 a.m. this morning, the gunman approached the church where he began shooting through windows on the side, hitting children and worshipers sitting in pews. Police say that they believe the shooter barricaded at least 2 doors in the church to make it difficult for anyone inside to escape. The shooter, who acted alone, died from a self-inflicted gunshot. Officials say he left a manifesto on YouTube. Today's tragedy is where we start today with MSNBC medical contributor Dr. Vin Gupta. Also joining us, the executive director of Moms Demand Action, Angela Farrell-Zapata, and former acting assistant attorney general for national security at the Department of Justice, MSNBC legal analyst Mary McCord is here. Mary, let me first ask you, with your law enforcement ears and hat on, what you heard from the police chief there about both the sort of disposition of an examination into motive, the safety, I think, which is on the minds of all parents of other kids in schools, especially Catholic schools or schools associated with faith institutions, and where the questions remain.
Yeah, unfortunately, because they are reviewing the manifesto, but we're not providing any details of it, at least at this press conference, it's unclear what the motive was. And of course, that's what the police chief himself said. That's what, of course, so many of us want to know. And it's not just because that could direct the course of what kind of the investigation this is. Of course, the shooter is dead, so there won't be a prosecution of the shooter. But how we think about this, is this an act of domestic terrorism based on ideological political purposes? Is it a hate crime? But it's also so important for the reasons you indicated, because other congregations, particularly Catholic congregations, need to be prepared. Is this something that's being directed at Catholic churches, Catholic communities, Catholic schools, or is this something that is broader than that? And so that's why getting in right away and executing the search warrants that the police chief mentioned could also help elucidate what the motive was here. And until we have a motive, it keeps people really on tenterhooks trying to figure out exactly what they need to be worried about. And again, I would also say, this is not the time to jump to conclusions about the shooter, right? What his ideological views might have been, what his own personal situation was. And this is the time where, unfortunately, Americans have a habit on social media of speculating about things and sometimes vilifying communities and making assumptions about communities who might be responsible before we have any information that would indicate who is responsible or whether they're part of any particular ideological or other community. So I think right now it's unsatisfying, but we need to just wait, not jump to conclusions, and see what is revealed through these search warrants once they're executed and through a further examination of the manifesto.
One thing we do have, and tragically, this has become a tradition of covering these tragedies, and that is eyewitness testimony. This is a 10-year-old in his own words about what happened today.
It was like shots fired, and then we kind of like got under the pews. It kind of they shot through the stained glass windows, I think, and it was really scary.
What did you do after that?
Well, we waited like 10 to 5 minutes, I don't really know. And then we went to the gym and then the door's locked just to make sure he didn't come. And we waited in the gym for more news, and everyone was okay. Or most people were
Who are
okay.
you?
My friend got hit in the back.
Did he go to the hospital?
Yeah, he went to the hospital.
What went through your mind when you saw that?
I was super scared for him, but I think now he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get reunited with your parents? And
Yeah, my mom was waiting outside of the church when it happened.
Yeah.
And then
What was it
you-
like seeing her?
I was super happy because, like, I was scared that I wasn't gonna see her because I didn't know what was happening really. I was just in shock.
and was it behind you where it was happening, or in front of you? Just kind of.
It was like right beside me. I was like 2 seats away from the stained glass windows. So they were like, the shots were like right next to me.
That's scary.
Yeah.
You went under the pew after that happened?
Yeah. And
Is
then
that what everyone tried to do?
I think I got like gunpowder on my neck. Yeah.
When you heard the shots, what went through your head?
I was like, the first one, I was like, what is that? I thought it was just something. Then when I heard it again, I just ran under the pew. And then I covered my head. My friend Victor, like, saved me, though, because he laid on top of me, but he got hit.
Your friend laid on top of you?
Yeah, and he got hit.
Is this something that you've practiced before?
Yeah, we practice it, like, every month, or I don't know. But, yeah, we've never practiced it in the church, though. Only in school, so it was way different.
Was your mom super happy to see you?
Yeah,
Give you a big hug?
What was that hug like?
I just felt like relieved, kind of.
Yeah.
I was very happy.
You're really brave, you know that?
Yeah.
Did you have any brothers and sisters there, or was it just you?
My brother's in the sophomore year of De La Salle. He used to go to Annunciation. He got out early because of it.
You guys were at like the mass that they do at the beginning
Yeah.
of school?
And then it was like maybe like 3 minutes in, the first shot fired. And then the police were really good because they showed up really quick.
Yeah.
And then, did everybody try to make you feel safe?
Yeah.
But it has to be probably the scariest thing of your life.
Yeah, it was super scary.
What do you want to say to your friend who helped protect you?
He's really brave, and I hope he's good in the hospital.
And what do you want to say to everyone that had to go to the hospital?
I hope you're okay, and I'm praying for you.
I've seen a lot of things. I've never seen that. That was Weston Halsney. Angela Weston, I think, described this better than anyone ever has and ever could. Quote, "I think I got gunpowder on my neck. My friend laid on top of me and saved me, but he got hit." To be a child in America in 2025.
Yeah, first of all, Weston, what a brave young man he was, even being in front of cameras. I am a mother of 4, and my 2 youngest are very close to the ages of the 2 that lives were stolen today. And I took them to school this morning, and, then hours later hear about this tragedy. And it's unfortunate that this public health crisis in this country that now is the leading cause of death for young people. This is almost like a normal. This can't be normal. There's so much that we should be doing for this. But I think first and foremost, I just want to send my heart out to the victims and the survivors of this tragedy that have directly impacted the community that surrounds it. And as a person of faith myself, I am praying, but I'm praying and I'm also acting. I'm praying because we need to stand up and do better. Our children coming back from summer break, coming into days of the start of the new school year, excited to see friends, thinking about, back to school nights or field trips, and now parents to think about bearing children. The burden that is on our children now. They're so accustomed to these active shooter drills and this happening. It's unforgivable. And so I am just, waiting to hear more, but we're going to continue at Moms Demand Action in every town for gun safety and Students Demand Action to do everything that we can to make sure that there are solutions. This is not just an act of Mother Nature. We actually can do some common sense things and take measures that will help to protect our communities. But this is absolutely devastating to hear that this happened today. But unfortunately, this is another day in America, and the way we're seeing our children go to school, walking through neighborhoods, it's just unacceptable.
Dr. Gupta, to have so many injured and all of them expected to live is a rare bright spot in, as I said, a lot of tragedies like this that I have covered. Just talk about it's pretty macabre, but because of the amount of shootings in America, a lot of the medicine has evolved to the point where someone can stand up today and say that all the victims are expected to survive. Just talk about what a day like today is like for the first responders at the hospital side.
Nicole, I would say that having talked to colleagues in Hennepin County that are at the hospital, in which that was the main focal point, the level 1 trauma center in that region, I can say that in any situation, the local health system is reeling because there's a lot of moral injury that's happening, and certainly providers experience that. To what your prompt was, absolutely. I think there's a certain amount of luck here. The luck here is, it sounds like, I don't have full details on the weapon used, but there was a rifle of some variety, and that, to your point, generally causes a lot of damage really quickly. And the luck here is on where somebody gets hit. Where specifically on the body they get hit, is there's a randomness to it.